Hey, what's up, Ray?
What's up? What's up?
Dude, thank you so much for joining me again. It's nice to see your face always, and
Same,
this
same
is like
here,
the
man.
only way. Thanks, man. I think this is the only way I actually get to see you now. So I got to book you on a podcast, man. I had to.
I know.
First off, I just want to say you have not been on the show since I rebranded.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
now,
No,
yeah, it's now called Soul Meets Heart.
nice, nice.
And we start off with a quick meditation, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
You can join me. Yeah. If not, you don't have to. But
yeah, yeah.
all right. What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in love.
Okay,
Love, 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 love. Breathe it in. And then exhale gratitude. So thank you. And that's
nice,
it. That's the
nice, nice,
meditation, man.
nice.
First off, just want to thank you for being on here, dude.
No, thank you for
You
having me.
are, yeah, of course, you're one of the most awesome people that I've connected with as far as creatives go. I love just being able to bounce ideas off each other and working
Thank you,
on
thank you.
things and projects and seeing you create, dude. It's so fun
Thanks.
to see all the pieces that you put together. And yeah, man,
Thank you,
let's start
thank you.
off. Yeah, of course. Let's start off with the new podcast setup or the
Okay.
new kind of flow of things is
Yep, yep.
at the end of this podcast, I'm going to ask you to leave me a positive affirmation or
Okay,
a positive quote for the next guest, but I'm not going to tell you who it is or what they do. So you're just going to leave a positive message for the next
okay.
person, and I'll read that to them. But
Got
right
it.
now, I'm actually going to read you the positive message that the last guest left you. If it
Sweet.
lands,
Okay.
great. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but it's a positive message. So take it with you as a positive thing.
Sweet.
But this message for you, okay? And
Hmm.
it's part Bible verse, part quote.
Okay.
So, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. If you're wondering, that's Jeremiah 29:11.
Okay.
And then their message for you that they wrote personally was, hey, don't worry about things that you can't control. God has a plan for you and your life. So
I like it. I like.
that's the message that we got for Ray today.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So just wanted to talk about a few things and talk about your art and your work and
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
working on. But maybe we can talk a little bit first about like how you been, man? Like where what's it been like right now the last half a year? How are things going for you?
Dude, okay, so last year was a tough one. I don't know. Last year just seemed like it was different. It was super. I don't know, something about last year. Like I asked, like like New Year's came, like this past New Year's,
Yeah.
and I talked to, like, you talk to your friends, you catch up and stuff, and everybody was like, "Damn, this year was so much tougher than the prior year." You know what I mean? And it's true. Like, I mean, I remember thinking to myself when this New Year's came, I was thinking, okay, this year has to be better. And so far, I mean, like right now, like at the beginning of the year, work was slow, super super slow. And then now it's picking up, so that's good. That it's picking up. But I pray, like, I a lot of, like, half of my work is doing events, right? And so the events were going really bad. Like, I don't know if the economy or what was going on, but people were not spending like they used to. And so events weren't going good, commissions were slow. And so to me, those are like my two main sources of income.
Yeah.
And so they were going really slow for a while. But luckily, like right now, it seems to be like picking up a little bit. Like I'm getting consistent work. Events are getting a little bit busier because at the beginning there was like nothing at all.
Hmm.
I've even done some events that were, I went to Arizona. I went to Arizona like at the end of last year, and then I went to Arizona last month. And it's so much fun to just see people's like positive vibes from other places. You know what I mean? Not
Hmm.
just here in California.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so I mean, other than that, just been like grinding and trying to like really, really, really like work hard at like at what I do. The tough part has definitely been social media. That's like definitely has changed a lot recently, I
Hmm.
would say. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're for those of you who don't know Ray is Ray Paez is a digital artist,
Mhm.
and he does a lot of really cool drawings and commission work. So he
Mhm.
designs arts or graphics for folks who hire him to do
Mhm.
that. And
Yep.
then on top of that, you do your own creative
Yep. Yep.
outlet. You have your own brand, if you
Hmm.
will,
Yeah.
your own even creatures or
Hmm.
characters that you've
Yeah.
created. And particularly in the spooky world,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
where it's been at least popularized, I see,
Yeah. Yeah.
your stuff. I actually saw it at an event I went to. I forgot whose event. I was like, "Hey, that's Ray's." I'm like, "Yeah, I love Ray." And then, it's kind of cool to see your work or your friends' work when you're
Yeah.
out there. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about like you're an artist right now. You've
Hmm.
been your artist. You've
Hmm.
been an artist for the last few like forever, and that's your job. So
Yeah.
when you're struggling or when you see others struggling right now because
Yeah.
the economy, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not an economist, so I can't really speak on it, but I know a lot of folks are reporting or communicating that they're
Yeah.
having tough times. So what makes it that what allows you to keep going when you feel like others are just like, hey, I gotta save my money because I can't spend it on this like
Yeah.
art
So,
thing.
right now, I think that that has crossed my mind more than any time in the past like 10 years, right?
Hmm.
Because um, there's been like, I have a lot of friends in the community, some that we both know, and we're in constant like communication. And the one thing that I think it's different, you know how people say like, "Oh, I'm built different." They use that phrase, right? I
Sure.
feel like people that are like artists or have a passion or are creative, I think we're built different in the sense, in my, I'll speak for myself, is going to like a 9 to 5 sounds insanely horrible.
Yeah, man.
That sounds like the worst thing ever. Like, because like we've all talked about like a lot of my friends. We've talked about, okay, so what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna find a full-time job here or there or whatever?
Yeah.
And if things don't work out, right? Because I've seen some people recently that were just like killing it, right? Like let's just say like 5 years ago or 3 years ago,
Yeah, yeah.
and now they're not. They've had to like stop completely, right? Luckily, so far, I mean, like the like when you work for yourself, you kind of like hold on to money. You hold on, you
Yeah.
have your the little bit of savings you have, which is not much, but you kind of hold off, and then it kind of like pushes you to try harder and try other avenues and try other things that you haven't done before.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I've done like the past couple years, and I'm trying even more now, is to go out of state to see how it is in other places, right?
Hmm.
And for example, like the algorithm, for all of us, it shows it in certain areas, and that's it, right? So sometimes if you're someone that works for yourself, in order to get your product or your skill seen somewhere else, you have to go there.
Yeah.
And so like for example, like when I went to Arizona last month, and I got a couple commissions from there because there were people that saw my booth and were like, "Hey, like I like what you do. Do you do commission work? Da 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 da." And then they've contacted me since. And so to me, since it's been like a tough time, what it's caused me to look at other ways to get out there, to promote, to share, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, with social media right now, it's become very heavy on what can get people hooked really
Hmm.
fast,
Yeah.
what can cause rage bait, if you will,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or, scenarios that I see, at least on my feed,
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of stuff where it's like divisive,
Yeah.
but
Oh
also
yeah.
very specific to what I like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll throw in all these things I like, and then every now and then, boom, something. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. 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 For sure.
So it is challenging. When you talk about working a 9 to 5, when is the last time you worked like a regular nine to
Well,
five?
okay, so like the it wasn't a 9 to 5, but like about maybe like 11 years ago,
Oh wow.
maybe a little longer. I was going to Fullerton College, and I was hired there, and they have like a full. I'm like pointing to it, like
Oh yeah, it's right there.
they have a full on printing, like they have all kinds of printers, so they literally will get jobs, projects from the community, and they'll
Yeah.
do like churches, they'll do schools, they'll do just they'll publish books, and they'll do it all there in house. And so they hired me as their like the main guy, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
last one. That's and because I was taking a lot of the courses, and they were like, hey, you know a lot of the printers here, you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
do you want to work? And I was like, yeah, we'll do it. I'm already like coming to school here, so yeah. So I was doing that for a while. That was the last thing.
So that was when you were still doing school, man. So that's I don't even know if that counts still.
Right.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
your drive or your calling was art.
yeah, yeah.
And what gives you or what keeps you sparked with your motivation, with your what is that? What gives you spark, I guess? What starts that light
So
inside of
you
you?
know, so to be honest, and I think it's as simple as, and don't get me wrong, being like a grown adult, right? You realize that you got to make stuff that makes money, or create stuff, or you need to make stuff that create stuff that makes money. And the
Yeah.
thing to me is that, like, as an artist, you kind of also want to do things just for fun, right? You just like you're just passionate about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes the motivation, or the what's the like the passion for it goes away, because you're kind of like, you're just thinking about, like, first of all, you're thinking about, like, for me, my priority is getting my commissions done, right? Because all my commissions are normally time sensitive and all that. So that comes first. And that really doesn't involve a lot of passion. That's just like my skill level, right? And that's it. And just pleasing the client. But when it comes to like my work, sometimes I'll be like drained and just feel like defeated and all that. But I always go back to, when I'm like drawing, it's like the one thing that I love the most to do. Like, especially with like AI and all this stuff that's going on with AI, you feel defeated with that. You feel like that's such a crappy thing, that is another thing that's going against, an actual artist, right? In my opinion. And there's for sure been times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm over it. Like, it's just like there's no point.
Mhm.
And then I pick up my pencil, and then I'm like, oh shoot, but I love this. It's just like the one thing that I go back to. It's like someone that likes to write. It's someone that likes to whatever sing. You might feel defeated at times, but then you go back to, wow, this is just something that makes you escape for a while, and it's just so fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and I think most people have that thing that they love to do, whether they're making money off of it or not.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like drawing, just flat out drawing. You know?
You get to color for a living.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
That's cool, man.
yeah.
You touched on a couple things I wanted to jump on or maybe
Hmm.
talk about.
Hmm.
The AI part,
Yeah.
obviously being a big part of that. But before I get into that topic, because I know it's a bigger one, when it comes to, you know, paying bills,
Hmm.
making money,
Yeah.
what does it feel like when you're drawing a commission that maybe you don't care for, right? Because
Hmm.
like I'm just trying to envision like how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, if someone asked me to write a song
Yeah.
about, I don't know, what's something I don't like, the Real Housewives of whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
not no shots fired to them. I'm sure it's a fun, easy show to just forget about things. But
Yeah.
look, I've never seen an episode, never watched anything. But if someone told me, "Hey, write a song for this
Mm.
and talk about the characters," and I had to do all this research and shit just to get something out,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would feel like, okay, it's a challenge, but at the same time, it's also like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is not what
Yeah.
I meant. Like,
Yeah.
this is not what I wanted as a songwriter. So,
Yeah.
what does that feel like when someone commissions you to draw something and you're just like not into that subject?
So okay, so that's something that I think that I've struggled with when I was first doing it, like doing art full time. I feel, and I feel like I was that artist that, like, oh, I need inspiration to work. I need to be inspired to work, right? As time goes on, you're like, nope, 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 nope. This is a job, and you got to get it done, and you got to like get yourself in that mindset where you're like, this is what I'm getting, what I got to do to get paid, like literally, and it's not always going to be fun. You have to like realize that, and you have to not be the kind of, if you are the kind of artist that's just like, oh, I need inspiration, then you can't be a working artist in the sense of working for others. If you're lucky enough to just always work for yourself and create for yourself, and that works, great. But for me, I do a lot of client work. And when I get work from clients, my mindset is immediately turns on to like, okay, when does this thing need to get done? Uh, what does the person want? And as much as I'm not like in the mindset or like in the zone to work on it, I've already trained myself to just get it started. Even if it's like just creating the page size, throwing some random stuff on there, right? And I always tell this to every client because I think that it helps me not get too like I don't know what to do for, right? And like I know some of my friends that you know too that don't do commission work because they can't get in the mindset of like just creating for others, right? Like it's intimidating. And for me, I always tell my clients, okay, the first sketch, the first design is going to look horrible, right? And to me, it's just like to throw out to them, this is just a starting point and we're going to build from there. And it gets the ball rolling, like the project going. Because to me, I need to get it started. And this is the only thing that I know this sounds probably weird to some, but I don't like getting paid fully upfront. I do for sure take half of my payment prior, and then I take the second half once it's completed, and then I send them the files and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But what keeps me motivated is getting that second. You know what I mean? It's very money motivated because especially if I'm like illustrating, let's just say, gosh, I mean, like a logo, which I'm not into. I need some motivation. You know what I mean? It's not. I can't pretend that I'm like so excited about this. You
Yeah, it's
know.
that carrot on a stick right in front of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And there's some people that are like really cool, and they'll be like, "No, I want to pay you right now. Bam, I just want to give you the money now." And I won't say no, but I know that now it's like, okay, like now I'm like feel like I'm gonna drag my feet, which I always will meet my deadline, and if I can't, I will keep people informed and all that. But that's how it feels. It feels like there's not going to be this prize at the end. So,
yeah.
but yeah.
So specifically with commissions,
Hmm.
I know that you've had some big name clients.
Hmm.
We don't have to talk about or name drop any of
Okay.
those, but I remember you specifically drawing something for someone
Hmm.
who I would consider like really famous. And when it comes to the commission work for someone at that level, does the pressure add up or is it the same to you no matter what?
I don't think, I'm at the point where I don't feel like I feel when people come to me, they come to me because they like my work already, right? And that was one thing I had to learn as I got older because I remember being like, oh my God, what do they want? What style do they want? You know what I mean? And I felt like I felt like I was trying to please them and I didn't know what to do for them, right? When these people were coming to
Mm-hmm.
me. I think that you learn as time goes by as an artist. You write music, you write songs. I think
Mm-hmm.
at this point, people know you well enough to be like, I know what he does, and I'm gonna ask him to do something in his wheelhouse, right? So I feel like now I when someone comes to me, I'm just like, okay, they must like what they see. So I'm just gonna try to figure out what will best represent me, you
Yeah.
know, at the end. Like for example, just like a really quick thing is I'm like the head designer for this company that they do like puppets, right? They make puppets. Like we designed like the puppets for the Bruno. The I designed like the Bruno from Encanto for the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, nice.
And so I did like the Bruno puppet that they had there, and like there was like just recently I was telling our friend Rick, I was telling him this, and
Shout out Rick.
I was telling him, oh yeah, so I just worked on a design for and I told him the rapper, because I don't listen to rap music, and he's like,
Okay.
the rapper, we're designing a puppet for this rapper. I forget his name again, and he's like, what? He's like, that's a big deal, and I'm like, I don't even know this guy's music, right? Also, I did like a dog design, like for a puppet that was for Queens of the Stone Age, right?
Mm,
And so, but when it comes to like working with this, like I'm technically their head designer,
yeah.
when it comes to them or to this company, I have to like keep things in mind, so I'm not necessarily like doing my style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm creating what other people want, right? And so yeah, so I mean, to me typically it's all I really care about is to get something I'm proud of at the end. So whether
Yeah.
it be I've done like a Halloween book that I was a part of,
Yeah.
Stranger Things book, and now I look back at the designs I did for it, which have been a couple years now, and I'm like, okay, I think I would do something different now, because now I care more about what like represents me more, not really like pleasing them, more like this image represents me really well. You know
Mhm.
what you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so I think about myself more, or like I won't even take on projects if I can't think of something. I was had the opportunity to do a Nightmare on Elm Street book, right? And I was like, okay, I want to think of something cool, and I couldn't think of something cool, so I just didn't do it. Like, and it wasn't because I was like, no big deal, whatever. No, it was because if I wasn't gonna put out something really good that I'm super proud of for me, then I didn't want to put anything out that was like mediocre.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
So,
Now you're focused more on your brand and the art representing you the way you want it to be.
and not skipping ahead, but I think that that's what's actually more important now to like beat out AI or whatever. You know?
So now that we've talked about AI a little bit, we'll go ahead and switch over to the that topic because I think it's an interesting time for me
Hmm.
as a creative, but I can't speak highly enough of AI. I
Hmm.
actually I'm a big fan of it and it's such a huge time saver. It's definitely like I've had just as an example with this podcast, editing the podcast, cutting clips, doing all these like special effects, all this stuff used to take me like at least 8 to 10 hours probably to deliver a really good podcast.
Yeah.
Now I teach the AI basically what I want and the style I want, the colors I want, and it generates everything for me in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also creates like cool captions and it gives me the viral ability, like
Hmm.
what how likely this video is to go viral if you were to push it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's such a huge time saver
Yeah.
and it does a lot of the work for me.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, this is like a person who draws things, different type of fear that you're facing than maybe say me enhancing my creativeness
Yeah.
versus you probably feeling challenged by it. So, when it comes to AI, what do you think it'll do for you in your career? And is it leaning more towards that negative impact versus a positive impact? Or do you feel like it's still too new for you to see or say anything about it?
So okay. So actually, two comments you made are things that I pretty much kind of come across where like I'm like, okay, I have strong opinions on both these things. One, we don't know what's going to happen. Like I feel like we're in this like limbo phase, right? We're like in this very limbo phase of things. Now, the way that I feel about it, I feel very strongly that it's going to be 99% negative. Meaning, and this is another thing. I spoke to my mom's boyfriend about this because he works in like payroll stuff, right? And I said, people think that it's only going to affect creatives. It's going to affect everybody. And it's going to have the ability to take everybody's job, not just creativity and that, right? It's going to be able to take everybody's job. It's coming for everybody. It was easy for it to be like an art thing for a while, right? But like look at how like right now you're able there's musicians, AI musicians that are making millions of dollars. And To me, that's like sad. That's like really, really sad. And put it this way, there's going to come a time where there's going to be someone that's just going to create a personality to be doing a podcast. It won't even be a real person. It'll be and it'll be so dialed in that it's going to do the perfect podcast, the thing that's going to have like the, it's not going to have any boring spots and this and that, right? But at the end of the day, what are we going to do? What are like humans going to do? And 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 someone said this too. Oh, but that's like so far in the future. And I'm like, nah, dude,
It's
no.
like next year,
Yeah,
basically.
it's like coming fast. And
Yeah.
that's why whenever I can, I don't use AI. If I, because sometimes like they sneak it in there, like they sneak it in there. And to me, because this is the thing too, it's as simple as this: I use my GPS on my phone to go places I know where to go, right? Now, the thing is that like you talk to like my dad or, like, or to people that were around before GPS and all that, like Google Maps or whatever, they knew how to get around places, right?
Yeah.
And now since we have our phones, like I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get places, And I think that
Sure.
the fact that we could just allow AI to help us every step of the way is shrinking our brains that much smaller. You know what I mean? Because, like, for example, you at least have gone through the process of editing and all this stuff, right?
Hmm.
The next person that is like maybe like a bit younger than us than you, that
Sure.
has never edited, is not going to know anything about it, and I just think it's like doesn't know any part of the process. His
Yeah.
brain isn't growing, and that's what I'm like. It's helping us out so much, helping us out, but it's also making us dumber. And it sounds like such a like woke thing to say or something like that. Like, but to me, it's like literal. Because I remember, okay, so I think you met Kim Spooksy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She had me. She's the one that got me into ChatGPT for a short minute, right? She
Okay.
was like, "Oh, you should try it. This and that." I noticed I was trying to use it for everything.
Mm.
Like, oh, what time should I post? Oh, what caption should I put here? Oh,
Yeah.
and I started noticing that I was just becoming a stale person,
Hmm.
very stale, very like just like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I just completely deleted it, and I was like, no, like if I can't come up with my own caption, then I shouldn't be doing this, and I shouldn't be putting a caption. Like if I can't think of it myself, because I think that to be honest, I think over creating like, this is just an example, over
Hmm.
creating the perfect caption, people like real. And as a matter of fact, I've noticed when I could tell now when people are using ChatGPT to like write a caption now. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shoot, like that looks so fake. It
Yeah.
just seems too perfect, like too perfect. It doesn't seem human like. Another thing is they're like able to just like dub over like videos, and
Hmm.
it'll sound like a famous actor dubbing it
Sure.
over. And I'm just like, shoot, that's not even really him. It's
Hmm.
it's it's fake. And to me, it's like it's just like so ingenuous. So I'm like, I don't like. I just don't want to consume that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm old. Like maybe that's like maybe it's just showing my age. But I think that nothing has ever happened like this because people are like, oh, it's just because it's the same thing. Like when 3D like graphics came out, right? Like people weren't happy about that, right?
Yeah.
But that was like one little thing. Like that was one thing, right? And it still had a lot of the same process. It was like a different medium. That's all it was, a different medium.
Yeah.
This is like taking over everything, like such a massive umbrella.
Yeah. I mean, I like to compare it a lot to the photo industry because that's where I work
Yeah,
mainly
yeah.
right now. So if you look at when film cameras were a thing, right,
Hmm.
and that was the only way to
Hmm.
take pictures, you would actually have to go into a dark room,
Yeah,
do certain things to make certain edits happen
yeah.
on the photo for it to print out a certain way.
Oh, yeah,
And when the digital camera came out,
yeah,
people were like, "Oh, there goes the art, there goes
yeah.
this, there goes that." Okay.
Hmm.
And then Photoshop came out. Now you don't know what's edited, and now
Yeah.
anyone, and then now Photoshop can do crazy things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a whole different world now,
Yeah.
and it's so easy to use now versus like before you needed probably classes or some
Yeah.
sort of degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's like super easy. So I feel like there's always going to be those folks that are going to be challenged by it. But if you look at all the people who are successful, no matter what happens,
Yeah.
and I'm talking because I still know photographers who were around in the film days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They adapt, they learn the digital, they learn the Photoshop, they learn, and they become better or continue to find success
Yeah.
despite that. And now people go and buy film cameras as a throwback, as a like, look at me, I'm
Yeah.
legit
Yeah.
photographer
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm shooting film.
Yeah.
So I think the AI route, yes, it's going to affect a lot of jobs. However, it'll bring some appreciation to those jobs where humans are necessary. So just as some examples, right? Like a car mechanic, it could be a plumber. Those people that didn't get respect before
Oh yeah.
are now you're going to see these. I mean, you already as an electrician today
Yeah.
can make 80 to 100K in Southern California,
Yeah.
which that's not a little bit of money. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you have people like the chefs, servers. You mentioned that people like real, right? People like authenticity.
Yeah.
I think AI is just going to make brands or your branding become more important. So when it's a Rey Paez piece,
Yeah.
we know it's authentic, we know it's real, and that actually drives your worth higher. So if anything, you want AI, I think, to.
The only thing with that is that if there's so much, like, so for example, if I continue to do my art, right? The difference with like AI is that it's taking from previously created art, right? It's gonna easily mimic my art. You know what I mean? So all it will take is someone to know coding or whatever, and it's getting easier and easier and easier, and just be like, and mimic my style, and maybe even push it just a little bit better, you know what I mean? And so that's why I think it's, and that's why I also feel like the reason it's kind of like uncharted territory is because I feel like, so for example, like the photography thing, whether you went from, because I was going for graphic design, I took like traditional photography with, you know, dark rooms and all that, and developing your film and all that. And so when I went from that, and it was around the time where like digital photography was coming in, so one of my courses was also digital photography. But at the end of the day, when it came to those things, whether you were burning on like burning your image or, you know, whatever, you know, you were either doing it here physically or you could do it like in Photoshop, right? But you were still doing it, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to like AI, I don't feel like me typing a prompt is doing it. You know, it's like jumping ahead like really crazy, like where it's like at this point, yeah, it might be like my brain thinking of it, but
Sure.
like me just typing it in is not me doing it. And to me, that just doesn't, it feels weird. You know what I mean?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like show you a different side of it. Not that I'm arguing with you, because I think there's no right answer or wrong answer here. Everybody's going to have their own way on how they feel about it. And for me, like when I'm thinking about art specifically, like me songwriting, for example, right? It's like, oh, aren't you worried that they're going to think AI wrote your lyrics or whatever? Okay, that's one thing. Then, oh, what if AI just makes better music or takes your style and does it better or whatever, makes it sound better? When you look at AI, live experiences, like live shows, live performances, those are going to drive.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be authentic and real, right? Like it's okay. You can produce music all you want, but if you can't sing that in front of a crowd, you're not going to be worth shit, basically. But for artwork, for example, I generated tattoos that I wanted, because sometimes it's hard to explain to an artist, even like yourself. You probably know this working with commissions.
Yeah.
If I told you, hey, I want something that represents my family and my fiance's family.
Yeah.
And we all have nicknames, and this is the nicknames. And can you incorporate a hummingbird and then maybe
Yeah.
also a crow, or maybe do
Yeah.
this, a little flower here? Like, I want all of these things. So, like, you do all this shit, and you're like, what the fuck? This is so
Yeah.
much. Like, what do you want from me? I can't design something including everything. So, when you spit that to AI, at least what it's taught me,
Mhm.
and this is me using my brain, is I need to communicate better because I
Mm.
don't know how to communicate, right?
Uh-huh.
Because even with AI, you have to know how to word things,
Yeah. Yeah.
give it a prompt to actually get the results you're looking for.
Mhm.
So I've done certain designs that came out not ideal, so they weren't
Yeah.
like perfect.
Mhm.
And then I would go to my tattoo artist, shout out Madi, and I would go to my tattoo artist, and he would redraw the design with the
Yeah. Yeah.
inspiration of the AI artwork.
Mhm. Mhm.
So what I did was I used AI to get a true artist to draw it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he had a good visual example of what I wanted. This, for example, this one right here,
Nice.
it started off as AI, but he customized it and he redrew it
Yeah.
essentially. If I showed you the AI version, it's nothing like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So, using it for that, it also helped me with my writer's block, dude.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, just saying like, hey, what do I do to get through this writer's block? I haven't written a song in X amount of years. And it actually gave me some pretty good ideas, and
Mhm.
it gave me some good chord progressions to fuck around with, and it was just super it facilitated what I wanted. And I think that'll be the biggest challenge.
Mhm.
It's going to be the folks who use AI to their advantage
Yeah.
versus folks who either choose not to or
Yeah.
struggle to keep up with it.
Yeah. 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 I think because I because I get what you're saying, and I feel like it when it comes to like that, like where it's kind of like almost like an assistant, or sometimes like because I saw someone post something like whatever happened to just talking to people and getting advice kind of through people, right? Like for example, like in your case, like saying, hey, how do I, talking to another musician friend and saying, hey, how do you get out of this, right? Instead of asking whatever. But I do see like the help in it, right? I do, because like I said, I was using it too, like in that sense where I remember I was even like, put it this way, Chat GPT knows who I am. Like I asked, like, or Kim asked, oh, who's Ray Paez? It knew so much about me. Obviously, it's just grabbing stuff from like social media, and I'm pretty like open on different platforms and all that.
Yeah.
And so it knew
You're
who I
famous,
was.
Ray. You could say it. You're famous.
And so I remember asking it like I remember one time saying like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to draw right now. What should I draw?" It already knew what my style was and what I could possibly draw next. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." But then I felt myself getting weaker
Mm.
because it's kind of perfect example is when I like to work out, right? Um, it's like me lifting the weights is keeping me strong, but having a robot lift it up for me is not making my muscle work, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I kind of got afraid of personally. Me is that muscle, that makes me break through art block or whatever, artist block. And it's like I kind of wish I'd rather just struggle through it sometimes, and I do feel like it could possibly help in that way, and it for sure, I think it's kind of proven that it does, right? But I feel like what the other thing that I'm seeing is that it's diluted. Like I told this to our friend Rick again, dude. Like 10 years ago, when people would see our drawings, we were like gods, right? We were like gods. They were like, oh my, like you created this, you drew this, my god, that's
Yeah.
insane, right? Now it's diluted things. So now you're not looked at, the artwork isn't artwork, and artists aren't looked at the same. And I think it's because it's like looked at in this way. And I'm sure that there's different people that think differently, but they look at it like this. They go like I could be like, oh, I drew this. And they're like, oh, that took you like what, like 2 days to draw? AI could do that in like 2 seconds. So big whoop. Like, whoa, so you did it manually, and
Yeah.
big whoop. Like now you took it, you did something that took way longer, and the computer could have done it in half the time and way better. And I think that's like an outsider. And I think that that's why, and I could see it by the comments I get, meaning the lack thereof comments. I look at my comments 5, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, and they were always like, "Oh my god, this is so freaking amazing!" And they were just like back to back, back to back. Now it's like I think you see so much of it; it's just like all over the place, and there's just so much AI art and so much of that it's just kind of dumbed it down. It kind of dumbed it down where it's just like, oh, okay, this isn't like a big thing anymore. It's not like a cool thing. It's not a cool skill. It could be done by anybody now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's kind of like certain crafts, like even like really nice penmanship, right?
Sure.
Like we have computers that you can just type everything out, and I could put a font on it, right? Make it look really
I,
pretty.
I took calligraphy. It was
Oh,
a
that's
class my dad required me to take so that I can write really nice. So I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's not looked at like as a cool thing anymore. And I'm sure at one point it was like wow, and it still is kind of wow because like my grandfather used to have really great, because he comes from the time where you wrote out letters.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just feel like certain skills like drawing and even music, it's gonna like dilute it down because it's just gonna be so easily accessible by every single person in the
Yeah.
world. It's just kind of diluted down.
I mean, do you think that's more of an AI problem or the algorithm, which by the way is AI?
Yeah, yeah,
Or is it the algorithm that they make it now so that you have to pay
yeah,
essentially for your even your own followers to see
yeah.
your stuff?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a whole. I mean, it's a whole other thing, but it's also the same thing. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's AI also, and you see, and that's what I don't like about this. The whole thing is that even the algorithm, like I'm not literally choosing what I want to see anymore. It's choosing it for me.
That's what makes TikTok addicting though, because
The
I mean,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because for me it's like, all right, I have people I follow and it already sees the type of videos I like
yeah.
and it knows what kind of videos I watch.
Hmm.
So like video I like, video I like, video I like, video I
Yeah.
like introduces me to something new and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Oh, wow, this is super cool and
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Awesome. I'm going to follow this person."
yeah,
And then video I like, video I like, video I like,
yeah,
something new.
yeah.
Whoa, this is something, and they relate it to what I like or connect it to it. I don't know how it works, but it obviously works to the point of keeping you on the app as long as
Yeah.
possible.
So that's where I come to like a realization of like, do I like that or do I not like it? Because for example, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think that the algorithm for TikTok has changed a little bit because it's not as good as it was like let's just say like a year ago. I would find myself on there stuck for hours and I wouldn't even have to like it, right? I wouldn't have to like it. I would just like maybe watch a video for like the whole duration or something, and it just knew let's show more of this, right? But I didn't like that. It's like it's a form of control where yes, you're on there enjoying yourself, I guess you could say, but I'm just like, how beneficial is this for me? Because I'm never on my friends feed, the followers feed. I'm always
Yeah,
on the for you page, right? And if
exactly.
I'm on the for you page, it's nothing that I'm following, but it's what it knows that I'm going to get addicted to. It's like you know what? It's like saying I'm an alcoholic. So like there's just all these stores of like and bars on my way to like the store, right? And it's like I would rather have a choice of what I want to see, but this doesn't benefit the companies like TikTok, because if I'm gonna choose what I want to see, then I'm probably gonna be on there less.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not gonna be stuck on there. Another like an example, my niece, she's on YouTube all the time, and she's not on any video. She's literally on the 5 second little, I
short
don't know.
clips.
Yeah. And I'm like watching her watch these. They make absolutely no sense. It's just quick like dopamine. Quick dopamine. And it's like, is this really good for us? At
We're
the end of the day,
addicted.
yes, right? Is it really good for us or is it not? So like
Yeah,
with TikTok, I've kind of gone way down on my like what going on there, but also I
sure.
feel like the algorithm hasn't really got me again because I don't spend as much time on there because you're right. I was on there and I would tell myself I'm gonna be on like just 30 minutes before I go to bed. Those turn into 3 hours, you know.
My favorite hack that I just started was for every hour that I want to spend on TikTok, I have to spend 2 hours working on a project for myself.
Yeah. That's
So,
good. That's really good.
and there's an app, I forget what it's called, but it lets you control how much time you can
Oh yeah.
spend on an app.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's been different. That's why I'm on my podcast now. And I'm a hypocrite because I'm creating content and shooting that shit out as much as I can
Yeah.
everywhere. So I'm like contributing to the monster. But
But you
you
see, but
know,
this is the difference though. Like I would rather like what I used to do a lot of is I used to love to watch like artists creating like illustrations and how to ink and how to this and how to that, right? And that's what I follow, right? Even on Instagram, I follow that, right?
yeah, yeah,
But that's not and to me that feeds my creativity, right? It feeds my creativity. But
sure,
what do I see more of? What I see more of is like politics and like rage baiting, right?
sure, yeah.
So what you're creating could be inspiring. It's not like you're adding to the machine as far as like negative stuff that keeps us locked in, and you know what I mean? Like
I hope
I
so.
think that's that to me that's what like, and it gets me. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll start watching something because I'm like, oh, I hate this dude or whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get it. I get it.
So I want to talk a little bit about your success
Hmm.
from designing trader cards
Hmm.
to making it on books, working
Hmm.
with famous people, doing art, all the stuff that you're doing that's like awesome. Is there a part of you that feels like this is your calling in a spiritual way? Like, do you feel connected to something greater than you, or is this just all Ray and all in Ray's head?
You know, I don't know if I don't. I wish I could say that it's like my calling. It's this. It's that. And I think it's kind of I flip flop because some days I'm like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm meant to do. Especially when you hear people like or see me at conventions and I've gotten some crazy reactions and I'm just like, what? This is like what? Like wow. And that makes you feel like that, like oh, it's my calling to like I don't know inspire people or like have them get something out of my work, right? But then sometimes I think it's just like what is it called? Like not happenstance. Like it just this is the route that just happened to fall in my lap a little bit.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, and I kind of just went with it. And to be honest, this is one thing, and it's kind of making me think because I don't think like you know how you said that at the end you'll ask me, you know, and I won't say too much yet, but I do feel like when I was younger, right out of like high school, I
Yeah.
was told like no, you can't do art, like you have to figure out like an actual thing that you can do. And I was like graphic design, I guess, right? Okay,
Sure.
then I did that for like a while and I still kind of do it a little bit here and there with like logo design and stuff like that, branding and stuff. But I remember like I was already in my late 20s when I met our friend Rick, and he was the one that at the time I was like, wait, this guy is like doing like art and he's making a living off of it. Like that's what I want to do. So I feel like for me, I the one thing I regret is having all those years of like not creating, like my early mid 20s, and letting it go by, and not like I should have been hustling at that time. I shouldn't have waited till like my late 20s to start hustling, you know, early 30s. You know, I shouldn't have waited that long because I
Yeah.
would have been further along if I would have been more like, no, you can do this. But I guess what it took was to see someone actually succeeding, you know?
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's Rick for you. Just making dreams come
I
true,
know.
inspiring people, and now he's inspiring youth. I mean, this guy just
I
full of
know.
inspiration. So we now do a new tradition
Mhm,
on the podcast
mhm,
where I'm gonna ask a question. I created an app
mhm.
on Claude,
Okay.
and basically I've made it so that it generates a question
Uh-huh.
for you.
Okay.
But on top of the question, it's also going to generate an emotion. I don't know if you ever watch improv or if you've ever done improv
Okay.
before.
No,
So
not really.
now you have to answer this question, whatever it is, but based off the emotion
Hmm.
or the word that connects to that emotion,
Okay.
So like it could be like, oh, talk about the time where you were the most successful, but your emotion is sad.
Okay.
So like you talk about it, but what made you sad about that moment? That's kind of the game.
Would it be like finding the sad in the scenario?
I'll let you interpret it the
Okay.
way you want to.
Okay. Okay.
I literally draw it's all at random,
Okay.
not plan ahead. Everybody dreads this part of the podcast if they've
Uh,
heard it before, but it always works out. Honestly, it always picks the right question. Let's go. If your younger self could see who you've become, what would make them cry in a good way? And then your emotion that you're going to draw on is enough. So like, when did you first feel you were truly enough, right? Your identity. So
okay.
question, if your younger self could see who you've become, what would make you cry in a good way? And tie it to your emotion of feeling like you're enough.
Okay. Actually, that's kind of easy. I think. Okay. Okay. Slightly talking as like an artist when you're young, you kind of. I think when you're a creator, you're figuring out why you want to create. Like your why. Like, are you doing it just because, like, you want to create cool stuff, or is it because you want to impact people? Right. For me, it was kind of like I want people to get something out of my work, right? And I think that as a kid, you're like, will I ever be there? Will I ever do that? Will I ever like do that? Will I ever impact people in a positive way or something, right? And I would say that like, and this happens, and I don't say this like as in like a braggy way,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I think doing conventions when I've had like I draw a lot of pinups, so and I draw a lot of curvy pinups, and just in Arizona, this wasn't something that I would think of. Like, it's not something I could have planned as a kid, right?
Sure, sure.
But I had several girls go, "Thank you so much, thank you so much for drawing like women curvier." With a little bit of like a little pooch there. Like, thank you. Like, it makes me feel seen. It makes me feel like represented. And then and so now I'm like, okay, that's what made me feel like enough. Like, okay, like this was okay, cool. Like, this is like I not like I've made it, but that's like, okay, cool. Like, I accomplished what I wanted to, in the sense of it has impacted people in a positive way. Even like I was doing, I did when I do this event called Midsummer Scream. I had two people in one day, their boyfriends came up to me separately, and they were like, they're like normal regular shoppers, right? Looking at my prints and the different products I have, and both at separate times go, my girlfriend is a really big fan of yours, but she was too nervous to come over here, so like I dragged her over here. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And she's like, oh, one of them was like, thank you so much, thank you for like creating all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And it just makes you go like, oh wow, like this is the point. Like, it's not necessarily like, I mean, we need money, right? But
Sure.
like feeling like, okay, cool, this is what it's enough to feel like that my artwork has impacted people in a positive way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
and made me
mean,
cry.
your art matters, and AI or no AI, there will always be a Ray Paez,
I hope.
and your style is the OG. So
Thanks.
no matter what happens,
Thanks.
you matter, and don't get discouraged by it. If anything, like I said, I think it'll make it more unique and make you
I
stand
hope.
out more,
I
and
hope.
push that way.
You know what I kind of feel about the whole situation. I'm not like a super religious person,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like, I hope there's something after this world, right? Same thing with AI. I hope there's a life after AI, or not
There,
after AI, but as it's coming in.
I think there will be, man.
Yeah.
Every time we've gotten an advancement in technology, you think of the Industrial Revolution,
Hmm.
right? Like back in the day where farmers would literally have to hand plant and hand pick and hand water everything. And like literally
Yeah.
all these, like you would have hundreds of workers doing
Yep.
stuff. And then machines came out, cars came out, tractors came out, all this
Yeah.
shit that eliminated the need for so many people.
Yeah.
They figured it out, man. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
The only thing that I'm wondering is gonna happen is, I wonder if like the amount of AI musicians, let's just say,
Hmm.
is going to be like 199 to like one actual musician, like that's actually singing. You know, kind of like how many farmers are there actually picking? There's probably like one farmer that's doing it, and then there's
Sure.
other ones that are using like certain tractors to do it, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm wondering. Like, is it going to be like just overpowering, and then just one or two little spots of, you know, old
Well,
fashioned?
I 100% still think live events are going to take over.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
things that you can do in person, like just thinking about like sports, right? Concerts,
yeah,
musicians, like any musician you like,
yeah,
My Chemical Romance, or
yeah,
you could probably do an AI mock up a
yeah,
million times over,
yeah,
but
yeah,
actually going to see the band you like in
yeah,
person with others, with the energy in the room,
yeah,
dancing, celebrating, singing
yeah,
along to your favorite song. Those are things that I think will stick around, hopefully.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then with art, it could be drawing in person, drawing things, drawing people.
yeah.
I know caricatures get made fun of, like the artists that do the wedding caricatures. Rick does those too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like those are going to be on demand because
I,
hey,
I
this is
do
the
I do I do feel like actual illustrations like on paper are
yeah,
kind of having a little bit of a comeback, because for a while it was like nobody really wanted that stuff,
yeah,
and I feel like, but then this is the tough part too, is that like we got so conditioned doing digital work, right? To now going back to paper, which I have been doing more paper, like, and like actual watercolors and stuff like that.
yeah,
But yeah, but I think it is that for sure is and I think that's more towards the people that don't like AI, right? Like consumers. They're like, okay, we
yeah.
want to see real stuff. We want to see real
Exactly, and there's
handmade
gonna
stuff.
be a big crowd of that too. I mean,
Yeah,
look at vinyl. Vinyl made a
yeah,
comeback.
yeah,
Cassette tapes have made a comeback. You're
yeah,
looking at the film cameras have made a comeback.
yeah, yeah,
I really think hand drawn
yeah.
art will make a comeback. You see, I mean, I follow a TikToker that draws people on the subway in New
Okay.
York,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and he interviews them, and I mean,
yeah,
even that is
yeah. That 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 that
priceless.
that is the hard part, being like an old school guy, right? And this is what I told another friend of mine named Sammy Ruiz. He's another great artist. I told him that, you know what it's gonna have to be about now. It's not gonna be how good your art is. I mean, it can be, right? It can be about that, but I think it's gonna be more about your personality now and who you
100%.
are. And that's tough, because I grew up where I normally didn't want to show myself. I wanted my art to speak for itself, right?
But you're such a sexy man. Come on, Ray.
So I think that like now for it to be about me, that's tough, because it's true, the a lot of the newer artists that I see coming up have a big personality, and they're like putting themselves out there a lot.
100%,
So
man.
I do feel like that is definitely gonna be a big route, is it being about you.
Personality, brand,
Hmm.
your image, your
Yeah,
the way you present yourself, all of that's going to be so huge now.
yeah.
And for myself, that's literally what I'm working on constantly right now is my brand.
Hmm.
Me, you're going to see me post more and be annoying
Nice.
as fuck and paying for ads and doing all the things. I do use AI to write captions, but I also edit it to fit my voice.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't like copy and paste. I
yeah,
copy and I edit some words out. I'm like, that
yeah,
doesn't sound human.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I change it. So, I think there's a wave of folks like myself who will try to write it out and help or use AI to help me. And
hmm,
then for sure, there's going to be those loyalists of like, I want real, I want authentic.
yeah.
And that in the end, I think is what's going to save the folks who are.
I do feel like if we can use it as like a tool to help something, it's fine, right? But I feel like if we use it completely as like to create from start to beginning, me personally, I'm not gonna, like, for example, that they're doing a new movie with like Val Kilmer, where he's
Mhm.
using, and they have his blessing and all that. I don't see it as too bad, because I mean, obviously we had Princess Leia in the Star Wars movie where she had already passed away. She filmed half of it, and so on and so
Yeah.
on. So I could see how it could help in certain aspects, but I also don't want to see a full movie from start to finish with AI Val Kilmer.
That's fair. I don't
You
think
know?
anyone want, I mean, at least as far as movies go for me, I'm definitely big on having true
Yeah,
performances. But that again pushes back to the hey, Broadway is going to make a big comeback then,
yeah,
right? The play,
yeah,
the watching a play, watching a
yeah,
musical on stage, those are all going to be things that people are going to crave, especially for that human interaction.
Yep. Yeah.
Ray,
Mhm.
dude, so awesome to have you on again.
Thank you for having me.
Super appreciative of you joining me and making time for me.
Thank you.
I always end the podcast with a don't lose faith, lose fear, peace, and let your heart be light. Thank you guys.